Hi guys, welcome to 1UX1. Today we're talking about UX design and what is UX design. I'm going to simplify it and break it down so everyone watching this video can understand what it is. So UX stands for user experience, and design is how we build that user experience, that solution. And a real simple definition of what user experience is, or UX experience design, it's to create products. And what are products in UX? Products are apps, systems, or software. Anything with an interface, anything with a design, like your phone, your car dashboard, a gaming app, or a phone app. It might be something that you use to buy things like a website, or it may be something like an interface in a McDonald's. Anything that has an interface that requires a good user experience is part of user experience design. And what is the end goal of all of that design? Is to build useful, usable, and delightful experiences for users. So the experience is really important. Now, how can you relate to that? So the way that we relate to user experience design is we think about any frustration we've ever had. So have you ever been on a website or an app or used a software and it doesn't work? It doesn't do what it's meant to do. You're trying to click somewhere and nothing happens, or the process is so long and lengthy that you don't want to complete it, or there's a bug and you get an error message and it's really annoying. All those things, all those reasons for a user being frustrated, and user experience design, we call them pain points, and that's what we're trying to resolve. Any pain points that we find, user experience design is about solving those pain points. So when we look at UXD, as we call it, so in short we call it user experience design, UXD is also known as product design or user experience design. So any of those words you might hear. So in UXD, what we're looking to do is discover those pain points, those frustration points, those points that we also call friction. Friction in a service, friction in a flow. A user flow means the actual journey that they go through. I.e., let's say you see a pair of shoes or a product you want to buy, and then you select it, you put it in the shopping cart, then you go to the checkout page and you make the payment. That's all a user journey or a user flow. And we want to make that flow as seamless, as easy as possible for the user. That's what we call a good user experience. Now, the next step of user experience design, or UX, is to make the product better, to enhance it. So one area of UX design is defects. The other area of UX design is enhancements, building enhancements, making it better and better as time goes by. So if you look at any website 5 years ago and you look at the same website today, it should be much better in terms of its UX design. It should be much more easier to use. It must have an improved interface that's user-friendly, it's quicker, it's faster, and it looks better as well. So UX experience design is about enhancing, improving products. How do we do that? How do we fix the pain points? And how do we fix and improve the product? The way we do that is through user research. So user experience research, or we call it UXR, is a part of the UX designer's job, but it's also a full-fledged separate job, which is done by a full-time UX researcher. So you could be a UX designer that does research, or you could be a UX researcher. Either way, you must do research. And when we do that user research, we hear the voice of the user to build empathy, and that's why we call it human-centered design. We want to hear from the human beings, how they feel about our product. And that's how we can build empathy into that service or product. And that's human-centered design. Now, when we're carrying out this research and we're taking notes, whether it's interviews or surveys or online surveys or more advanced user research such as heat maps, click testing, other methodologies, we're hearing from the user, and that's the most important thing. So UX design is about the user's experience, and anything that they say, which is qualitative data, is really important to us. And anything that they do, i.e. the numbers, how long it takes them to check out, how long it took them to find a certain page, That's all the quantitative data. And those two pieces of data make the background structure of the key issues that our users will have, i.e. their pain points. And what we want to do is discover those, and then we want to prototype and ideate a solution. We want to design a solution to those pain points. So we want to design a solution based on all those notes that we took from the interviews and heard what the users had to say about the product or service. And then we design a solution based on that. And then we want to get the developers to build that. And then we want to test it again. And it's all about this loop that is always continuing to improve the product constantly. So that's what user experience designers do. They take ideas and they ideate, and they also take the feedback and prototype, build, and then test. And then a feedback loop is that we keep listening to the user even after we launch the product to just see if there's any glitches, anything we might have missed out or forgotten, and then we can add that in to the product to constantly improve it. Now, one more thing I'd like to say about UXD, user experience design, is that it's an area that is evolving constantly because more and more things are needing good user experience. So if you looked at the pandemic, Zoom and Teams and all these collaboration tools were really being used heavily during the lockdowns and people being at home and working from home. So these require much better user experiences now. So more and more work is done on software and SaaS, software as a service. All these applications need user experience, which means that the work of user experience designer will never end. There'll always be a need to look at products and see where we can add value, where we can save time for users, where we can make it easier, make it less clicks. Everything that a user would expect for them to be able to come back, because not only is it about user experience from a business case or a business point of view, businesses want to make money. They want you to come back to their website or app or service and reuse it. To do that, you need to have a good user experience. So it's also a business case and a case of empathy, i.e. looking after the users. Now, if you like this video, guys, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe and share this video. And I'll see you on the next one. This is 1UX1. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope that really helped you define user experience design.